right, Art and Culture Monday. Welcome to KUTV Rise today. First of all, let's put the big business out of the way. I'm here representing Karen Blessing. She'll be away for a minute, but we're also going to have a show unlike any other, but just still in the footprints of Karen Blessing. Welcome to KUTV Rise today. You're starting your week in a very successful way, and you're starting it with art and culture. There's no better way to begin your week than taking a look at the culture around you and also enjoying the art that your culture is giving unto you. On Sunday, this week on Sunday, is going to be International Men's Day, and we're celebrating this all over the world, including right here within Kenyatta University. How has the culture of men in terms of mental health improved, or how is it so far? That's the conversation that's happening within the Kenyatta University premises, and on Friday, we'll be marking that day with zero male suicides as a theme of that celebration. International Men's Day. Let's take a look at the mental health culture of men. How are they in this moment in society? How do we prevent men from suicide, and what kind of triggers, what leads men to commit suicide? As was the case a few years ago, it still is right now in Kenya. The highest rate of suicide is committed by men. There was a film that you can be checking out in the meantime on YouTube that was done, a documentary actually, that was done by the BBC, which highlights the dire situation that is there, especially in the central region of Kenya, where male suicide rates are going higher and higher by the day. What is the cause of all this depression, and how can our culture accommodate the stress and the pressure that men are going through in our society? We're going to have a conversation on that here with Dr. Susan Hinga from Kenyatta University. So you want to be prepared for that. Any question that you have, if you have someone who's suicidal around you, we want to eradicate this culture to ensure that you're accommodating them within your environment, but also, are you taking care of them? Are you taking a look at what might be the causal of all these suicides which have been going up? On the international front as well, men are engaged in war. If you're speaking about Israel and Palestine, if you're speaking about Sudan, or near here in the Congo, we are also in Kenya sending out men to go to Haiti to help out that situation that is happening over there. What are we doing to ensure that we're also highlighting this situation within our culture? There's a musician all the way from Venezuela. He's been featured in other places like Mexico and in France. He's also a filmmaker, and is using his music to highlight the dire situation of war that is happening, the imminent threat that war presents to our culture and to our society. He has a song out, and I'll be telling you what that is, so you can be checking it out. But I'm having an interview with him. How is he using his music? How is he using his film to highlight this situation of war and also other issues which are there within our society? Closer home, a group of young filmmakers from Art 224. This is a production company that has been done by young creatives who are also using this filmmaking platform to tell their stories. They've been doing it for a couple of months now, actually a couple of years, and they'll be here on the show to let us know of their latest projects, which is Mira Me. You can be checking it out. The trailer is out there on YouTube, and they'll be screening this in New York, the December 13th of this 2023. They are preparing to go and represent Kenya in New York after having won a couple of awards just in the past few weeks alone. They participated in a competition organized by UNHCR, and they already won that. They'll be telling us how they're feeling about it and what we can do to help them prepare for this New York screening, which will be happening just next month, a few weeks from now. Speaking of weeks, in the style of Karen Blessing, I'll be letting you know that this is the 45th Monday of the year, which means we have just 7 more before we finish up this year. It's been exciting. Let us know how it has been for you since we began the first Monday of the year to right about now, the 45th Monday, where Art and Culture Monday comes to you from me, Richard Okenye. I'll be having a whole of other activities throughout the show, a couple of segments in here in between. Did You Know segment, as always, brought to you here by Karen Blessing. So wait on for that. But in the meantime, engage me on social media at Richard_Okenye, and also tag the station at KUTV Kenya. Let's have an exciting morning here and then gear up for a successful week. The hashtag to use there, hashtag Rise Today, hashtag Art and Culture Monday. Keep it here. right, let's have a look at the roads then. What is the current situation around Nairobi, the traffic conditions, transport conditions, weather conditions as well? It's been raining, so be careful as you go out. It's likely also to rain today. The 5-day forecast that I have here is that today it's going to be mostly cloudy in the areas of Nairobi and the environments. Tomorrow you can expect thunderstorms. It's also going to be cloudy on Wednesday. Highs of 24 degrees Celsius, that's just room temperature, and also lows of 14 degrees Celsius. Precipitation is expected in areas around Nairobi as well, so humidity, and also a couple of drizzles in areas that are nearest to me. If you're outside of Nairobi, also let us know of the weather conditions there. El Nino, which was warning by the Kenya Met Department, is now here with us. Various areas or various regions of the country also battling floods and heavy rainfall. So drive carefully. If you're going long distance, go slow. You will arrive alive. That is a message that we want to get to you here this morning. But let's take a look at the roads here. And the first complaint is coming from this region of Duka Moja, where the SGR crosses the roads. The bumps apparently are not visible or not even evenly erected. These bumps are along this route, Maimayu Road, and then especially near Duka Moja, where SGR crosses the road. So they're saying that there was a rogue, careless contractor here who's been repairing this highway for quite a long time, and nothing much has been done. Marking and proper installation of road signage will also be done there. That is Ed March, anasema on Twitter, people of Maimahi Road who are complaining. Itaru interchange, traffic update here. The reinstatement of that Modogashi Road is also taking shape, with the diversion road set to be ready for use. So Kenya is telling you this, that by today, if the rains do not disrupt the work, that road should be ready for you. The Gitaru interchange hasn't been looked at. Mburu is complaining to Kenya, so people of Kenya waangalie that side. Thika Road kumeanza kushikana already as early as KCA. If you're going to town, be aware of that information. People also asking about Mombasa Road, which is like a Shamba adventure, complete with an even terrain. What will you make even? That will even make you envy a locomotive ride. Potholes, playing hide and seek, and bumpy roads, adding an unexpected thrill. So this is a sarcastic comment from Gatobu Kelly Roy, who's saying he's enjoying Mombasa Road being like a Shamba, which is an adventure complete with an even terrain that will make you envy a locomotive ride. Potholes are good for playing hide and seek, and bumpy roads are adding an unexpected thrill. So see us keep Chumba Murkomen. Have a look at that Subway Surfer event happening over at Mombasa Road. Residents are sarcastic, saying that they're enjoying the very bad, poor state, or the poor state of the roads over there. How is Thika Mangu Magumu flyover road construction going? This is a question from George, asking the relevant authorities. Imefika wapi hapo? Is it navigable using a small car? There's also here a waterfall on Upper Hill Link Road. It's not really a waterfall, but just drainage, which has been badly done and now pouring over to the road below that, below Upper Hill Link Road. So if you're heading that direction, beware of that heavy drainage pour that is now, of course, getting to affect traffic in that kind of region. Who else is on the roads here? Muthaiga. I see Jahal saying that the genius behind the light at Muthaiga was very... who is the genius behind this light at Muthaiga? That is Jahal asking, and it's affecting visibility even this morning, as there is bad visibility that side of the Nairobi roads, which is Kiambu Road. On Magadi Road, also before Kisami's shopping center, I'm seeing here traffic is building up. If you're around that direction, please beware. That is as much as I can get to you here so far. Just one last one. Mwenga just came in here. Caleb Mwenga saying, driving within Nairobi, and especially weekdays, can be so hectic, and especially now in this rainy season. As usual, our good matatu drivers who own the roads and control everyone, including other boda guys. Kanairo si mchezo. Complaint to matatu drivers and boda riders to give others a smooth time over in the CBD. Driving within Nairobi, especially during the week, can be so hectic, according to Caleb Mwenga. This is Art and Culture Monday. I'll continue giving you these updates as we go on with the show. But in the meantime, a roundup of the news updates from your world, and then we're back to matters of art and culture. Stay tuned. All right, happy holidays as well. I think I should have begun with that. Today is a very specific and special holiday which was set aside by the cabinet last week to help Kenya participate in environment issues, which is mostly towards eradicating effects of climate change. So today, you've been given a mandate by the government of Kenya to go out there, plant trees, and contribute to keeping our environment well prepared for effects of global warming and climate change. So wherever you are, please let us know what kind of activities you're doing over there. But at City Park, the CFA over there led or in participation or in collaboration as well with the Youth Green Society is doing a tree planting exercise at City Park. So if you are around that region, please head over there and help the rest of the crew, like Dennis Kimani, who is the YGS chairperson and leading that tree planting exercise. But being a holiday also, whoever you like to wish this holiday to, let us know in the comment section. Happy holidays to you, and thank you for keeping it here on Biashara on Art and Culture Monday. It's Art and Culture Monday, and I'm taking my time to getting used to Art and Culture Monday before we prepare for tomorrow. More business happening there on Biashara Tuesday. I'm having a conversation, as I told you earlier on, with Art 224. The CEO of Art 224 will be here. George Mulinge is also first assistant director over there and assistant CEO of Art 224. That is George Mulinge. He'll be joining me here with Njoroge Joan. They are young filmmakers from Art 224, and they're preparing to go to New York December 13th of this year, 2023, to represent Kenya in their latest production known as Mira Me. Be checking it out, and a couple of other films that they've been able to do in the past, like When It Rains, as it is now. So if you type out When It Rains on YouTube, you can check out the trailer, Story Yetu at 60, which is a celebration of Kenya so far. We are going to be celebrating Kenya at 60 in just a few weeks next month. So that is also some of the films they've been able to do. They won the Plural Plus competition recently through this Mira Me film, and they'll be presenting this in New York. If you want to help them, in this journey, if you want to help them raise fare or for their ticket fees, if you want to help them in terms of accommodation in their stay in New York, this is going to be a chance for you to help the industry. You've been wanting to help the industry in one way or another. This is going to be your chance. So I'll be having these young people here on the show so that you can also contribute to this journey in turning around the film scene in Kenya. But remember also that conversation with a young musician, Bay Evalon, who is from all the way in Venezuela. He's also a film director. So that conversation on film continues with him. Bay Evalon is a singer, actor, and film director. If you're aware of the Transformers, which is a popular movie series, is a voice behind the latest of the Transformer movies in one of the Transformers called Autobot Wheeljack. Autobot Wheeljack, a voice done there by Bay Evalon. We'll be knowing about his film journey, but also his music journey. Before we get into that other conversation on men's mental health and also celebrating International Men's Day, I'll be having that conversation, as I told you earlier on, with Dr. Susan Hinga from Kenyatta University School of Health Sciences, and we'll be talking about zero male suicide. We're trying to eradicate suicide cases within our society, and that's our culture as well. News updates will be coming also to you, a roundup from KUTV Newsroom, so don't go too far. Continue interacting with us on all our social platforms. I'll be right back. Hello
everyone, this is the new chapter of Let's Be Fit. I'll be host DiCaplo. I'm here to give you various workouts. I'll be having different trainers. We'll have Zumba classes, we'll have aerobics classes, we'll have box exercise, we'll have kata box.
Kaka mtazamaji popote ulipo, unapokuwa ukitazama Safina Show
inang'wananga sasa hivi. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
Technology, science, innovation, ICT and research. These are the ingredients upon which the solutions to the 21st century problems are founded. In a world that is rapidly changing, it's all hands on deck to ensure a balance in all fields of life. Women, young and old, are also in the front line, breaking the glass ceiling, becoming thought leaders in the larger tech space. Not forgetting other societies marginalized. And when the tech Avengers come together, we inch closer to a much safer, efficient, and sustainable world. What we view as a norm in today's advanced world was just an idea, and for nostalgic reasons, we trace back to the iconic days to bring you the retro tech. On Technovation Show, we encapsulate all the pillars of the fourth industrial revolution, decoded in a language, all for one for all. Every Monday at 8:30 as we push the mantra, keep learning something new each and every day. Only on KUTV, a new experience.
What are some of the ways through which you can develop these skills so that you are comfortably fitting into the job?
You have to put yourself in positions where you are uncomfortable in the sense that you are not clear about what to do.
Because I used to work a corporate job before. So when I left, I happened to visit someone's farm around this area.
So this project is called Security Breach Detector and Readiness Familiarize. It is meant to be used to detect, detonate explosive.
We'll tackle all the tough issues, discuss all the weird moments, and hopefully share a few laughs along the way.
Kutoka kuwa jamii ya kuhamahama na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. Kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok, hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
My name is Jakub Petri. I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland. And I'm the main coordinator of the CAFE project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
People pass vuguvugu. People pass ni idea.
Sazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili. zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni Duniani Leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
All right, Biashara, Art and Culture Monday. It's going to take me some time, and apologies to Karen Blessing, who I am standing in here for on this Art and Culture Monday. It's a beautiful morning. It's cold outside, but if it's warm where you're at, cup of coffee, cup of tea, please let us know how your morning is starting. We are having conversations here on the show around art and culture. We'll be highlighting a lot of art, a lot of culture as well. So this is the place for you to be. The conversation I want you to be prepared for, though, in just a short while, is in preparation for International Men's Day, which is going to be happening on Sunday 19th. But within Kenyatta University, we are celebrating that on Friday. Zero male suicides. That's the conversation that is happening around International Men's Day this year, and also having that conversation on this show this morning. Kenya has an age standardized suicide rate of 11 per 100,000 people, and 50+% of that is coming from men. So a majority of people who are committing suicide within this republic are men. And I told you to be checking out a short documentary which was done by the BBC around the culture of suicide in Kenya a few years ago, especially in the central region of the republic, where males are continuously taking their lives. What is the cause of this, and what kind of effects are we realizing within our society, within our culture? What is it that is promoting men to consider suicide as part of the solution of the problems they are facing? Any questions that you have? If you have someone who is suicidal, because I have a couple of those who I'd like to watch this show and to know that there's help for them. But also, if you have someone who would like to get help, would like to tune into the show to learn more, or for yourself as well to be aware of what causes men to get into this path, this is a show for you. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Interact with us on social platforms at Richard_Okenye, at KUTV Kenya. I'll be back with Dr. Susan. All right, now we are here back on Art and Culture Monday, ready with Dr. Susan Hinga from the School of Health Sciences at Kenyatta University. I think I was saying Biashara Tuesday because Dr. Susan has been with me on that very show, and I'm glad to have her here on a different show. We met at a different time, but also a very important discussion that we'd like to have here on International Men's Day, specifically zero male suicide. We're trying to get suicide amongst males to be at 0, especially here in the Republic, where majority of those affected are men. Welcome to the show, Daktari.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Happy
thank
to
you
have
for
you
having
here.
me
Right.
on this tree planting day.
Yes.
I'm
Happy holidays.
Happy green.
Happy green holiday. Are you going to participate in the tree planting exercise?
Yes, I will. I'll
Okay.
join in the exercise later after I'm done with this.
All right.
Yes.
Happy holidays also to all those who are watching the show, and welcome. Please introduce yourself. We've introduced you on a couple of shows, but I don't think we've done that here on Art and Culture Monday. Please do that, and then we can get into it.
All right. My name is Dr. Susan Hinga. I'm a psychiatrist, a consultant psychiatrist, and a lecturer at Kenyatta University. And I'm also part of the Kenya Psychiatric Association. So as I sit here, I also represent the Association of Kenyan Psychiatrists, and I'm happy to be here.
Right. We're having International Men's Day on Sunday. Maybe we begin there, and then we can come back into the focus of this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Are men celebrated enough in our society as it is?
A good question. I get a lot of that being asked even on social media. There's even complaints sometimes that we have too many Women's Day. I guess with they mix up the Women's Day and Valentine's Day and many others that go around with it. But men are celebrated too. So that is why we have an International Men's Day, just like we have an International Women's Day. We have Children's Day and different other days that are celebrated. So we don't forget to celebrate men. So yes, men are celebrated, and we'll be doing so this Sunday.
All right.
Yes.
We're doing so this Sunday, but within Kenyatta University as well on Friday. The theme is, or the focus mostly of these conversations that are going to happen is zero male suicide. Why specifically this?
We're at a point where post-COVID, we were all, I think generally in the world, very hopeful that once we are past the COVID era, that everything was going to fall into place and people are going to function as they had, or even better after COVID. However, with the current economic downtimes that are happening, not just here in our country, but all over the world, there's been a lot of distress. And of course, the distress has affected all genders, both males and females, and even children. So it has affected every part or aspect of society. As a result of that, with the hopelessness that sets in and the difficulties in relationships that set in, the difficulties in people having people struggling to put food on the table, people struggling to take care of their families, people struggling even to take care of themselves, there has been lots and lots of distress. And as a result of that, definitely when there's a lot of distress, then there's a lot of hopelessness, as I've said, and a tendency to have more suicidal rates.
All right.
Yes.
And within Kenya, what do the statistics now inform us?
We don't quite have, I would say, proper statistics in Kenya, but we do know that it say that so often we have people who are dying by suicide. By the way, just to correct that, we talk of dying by suicide. We no longer talk about committing suicide.
Okay.
And the reason we say die by suicide is because we're working towards, as a country, looking at ways in which we can decriminalize suicide. So in the past, we have talked of committing suicide because it's been sort of like a criminal activity. But we know that lots of people die by suicide all over the world. We may not necessarily have statistics specific to our country, but it's not something we can ignore. Again, we may not also have proper statistics because in the past, when we've had attempted suicide as a crime, we probably have less reporting of people coming into the hospitals, and so we wouldn't have the data. If people don't show up in places where that data can be collected, we definitely wouldn't have. So I do not think we have accurate data because of that.
Okay.
And we hope that as we work on decriminalizing suicide in our setting, in our country, that in the future we can have proper data on this.
Yeah, it happens to be really hard for men to come forth and say they're suicidal or they're going through this and that. Maybe one of those reasons could be some of those issues within the law like criminalization of suicide and other cases of stigma? Is that are we getting better? I know recently we've just had discussion, and the Chief Justice already presented that kind of motion to ensure that people aren't taken. It isn't a crime for someone to attempt suicide. Are we making progress in terms of stigma?
We are. We're definitely not where we were several years ago. It gets better every year. The stigma is less. I mean, if you compare to 10, 20 years ago, the stigma is less. It gets better. And as it gets better, then people are more open to talking about attempting suicide. We look at attempting suicide as a person who is crying out for help. And that is why you'll see as mental health workers, we will advocate that let us decriminalize this, so that we have more people who are coming out to say that I need help, and that they're able to get the help.
Right.
So we increase a stigma when we look at attempted suicide as a crime. Because then the people who are seeking for help, the people who are dying inside and asking to be helped will not come out. Because if they do, they have a fear that they could be jailed or they could be arrested. So stigma has reduced, and it could get better. I know it will get better, and thankfully that our Chief Justice is working on this, and she's already put it out forward, and we hope that it will be supported by our houses as they debate on it and agree on it, so that then we can decriminalize suicide. So it's getting better. It's not where it was. Just to answer your questions about males, why aren't males coming out more? It's generally the way society socializes men. Well, and not just here in Africa, but all over the world. A man is looked upon to be strong and sometimes not even to show emotions, not even to show that they're collapsing and dying on the inside. They have to look strong, because that is partly how people have been socialized. So unfortunately, sometimes that socialization does affect the fact that it will cause men not to seek help, because they fear looking like they have failed.
All right.
So part of why we have more women probably reporting and saying, I have failed, or I feel I'm not coping or getting overwhelmed, and being able to report, is because of the way society is socialized. So the stigma, in my opinion, tends to be more for men.
Right.
Because a man, again, as I've said, is looked upon to be strong, don't cry,
cry inwards.
Cry inwards, as you say. So because of that, then we'll have fewer men are coming out to say that they need help.
Would you say the primary causes of suicide amongst the males is different as compared to females in society?
The causes may not necessarily be different. They'll probably differ because of the social functioning that's expected of men, sometimes in comparison to females, women. But, society is very dynamic. And if you compare now, you probably have seen some women who have had to take up roles of men, being single parents, and they're the mother, the father of their families, and they're fending for their families, and the same. So it may not necessarily be very different in terms of presentation. Like, for example, when we think about some of the causes, like if you have mental health illnesses being part of the causes, the presentation of a patient with depression, whether male or female, remains the same. What may be different is how they present themselves and how they bring out their issues. But at the end of the day, when we make a diagnosis, for example, of a patient with depression, it's the same, whether you're male or female. That doesn't change.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. I was just having a discussion before we came on here with a couple of the men who are here with us on the show, asking them if they're depressed, or they know someone who's depressed, or they've ever heard of someone who's committed or who's died by suicide. That's the correct phrase to use there, and I'm going to try and do that throughout this show. Died by suicide. They're saying sometimes you might not know that you're in a suicidal state. How does someone get to identify that they're in a state where this might lead them to suicide?
Okay, it's two-way. One, the patient themselves may identify, and on the other side, the people around the patient may identify. Maybe let me start with, how do people around those who are thinking of suicide, how would they identify? The first thing that we tell people as mental health workers is that we need to be cautious about people whose mood or way of doing things generally changes. For example, how when you notice fluctuations in people's moods, when you notice withdrawal with people, when you notice a change of behavior in terms of interactions with others, when you notice a reduction in their functioning socially or occupationally, when people start to talk about what happens if I'm not around, what would you do if I'm not around, or talk about even sometimes methods that they could be thinking about. The telltale signs could just be what I have to say, just looking at somebody who has changed in terms of their behavior, changed in terms of their moods, changed in terms of their interactions, and people who are talking about death frequently and talking about the future, and in some instances even giving out what they value. There are people who look at what they value and they slowly start to give out, or people who even start to look for things that they could use to die by suicide, looking for firearms, for example, looking for poisons or buying poisons, or looking for medications, for example. So it's looking out at those things that can make the people who live with these people be aware that something is not okay.
Right.
However, on the other side, we have the individual. There are people who are much more aware that something is not okay. And they would probably walk even to a psychiatrist and say, I don't feel well, I feel overwhelmed, I feel like I want to take my life, and they get help. There are others who may not necessarily put it out that way, but as they come, they may have all these aches and pains and things, and it's their way of trying to tell you that I'm not feeling well. So I have a headache, I have my leg is paining, my heart is paining, my chest is paining, my this and this is paining. And sometimes they probably will show up even in our health facilities and get all tests done, and nothing seems to point to this aches and pains that they're talking about. And the health worker may actually identify. So it could be the patient coming on their own, already identified that they have a problem, or the people around the patient, or the people the patient interacts with, for example, in health facilities, or even at work or at school.
All right. Having a look at also a different kind of scenario where, and this is also coming from another campaign which I saw last week, where, there's a happy individual here, there's a somewhat troubled individual we think is troubled, and it's just a video footage of them meeting every day. So at first it seems like the guy who looks troubled might be on their way to taking their own life, and then it happens that the overly bubbly individual and cheerful happens to be the one who took their life. So there's this very small percentage of individuals who are always happy, cheerful, but then later it happens and you're like, this guy was so happy, we just talked yesterday. How do we approach that kind of situation? If I have a friend who's always cheerful, I have a family member who I know is always happy, and then something might happen someday, how do I tell the signs in the midst of their order?
Let me start by correcting something. I know the general perception in society or in the world is that every person who dies by suicide was depressed. That is not necessarily true. A large majority of them may be depressed. In fact, let's start by saying a large majority of them may have a mental health issue. They may have a mental health, even a psychiatric diagnosis. And the large percentage of this is likely depression. However, depression is not the only cause of a patient dying by suicide or attempting suicide. I'm saying this because, going back to your explanation, people get surprised that this person looked happy. This person looked like they were getting on in their lives. What suddenly happened? Sometimes people die by suicide because of impulsive behavior. And this could be impulsive behavior that again happens with some of the mental illnesses that patients have. A patient, for example, with bipolar who's on the high side, the hyper side of it, or a patient with a psychotic disorder would still die by suicide, not necessarily because they are depressed. So it's this perception of society that everybody who dies by suicide or who attempts suicide is necessarily depressed. It's not always the truth. They may have other mental illness, and sometimes there may be no mental illness, but it could be an impulsive act out of a reaction, a sudden reaction of anger or something that happens to the patient. And impulsively and quickly they act and they lose their lives. So it's not necessarily true that everybody has a mental illness or everybody is depressed. Those who die by suicide or those who attempt suicide.
Right. And I guess it's then important to have this discussion continuously, even if it's not for the people who look like they're depressed, even people who look normal, everyday individuals, to prevent those cases of, sudden thoughts or, as you said, the impulsive decision making as of such. Let's talk about the effects. Are there effects on the individual? Because mostly when we are having a conversation on people who've died by suicide, it's, it was their last solution out. Are there effects to them before we get into the effects to the family and society?
Okay, now this is what you consider suicide.
Impact on the individual, yes.
Let me first take you to a discussion. I'll divert it a little bit for us, for our own understanding.
Sure.
As we think about suicidality these days, we have more understanding of it. And if you look at our categorization, we have what we call 4 parameters that we think about when we think about suicidality. The first parameter is a patient could just have suicidal thoughts. Okay, so a patient would think, if I slept and didn't wake up, then that would be good, and all my problems would be solved. Okay, it could go on to it becoming suicidal behavior. It could go on to being attempts where people start looking for ways in which they can hasten this going away and running away from these problems and just getting away. Or of course, or it could just be completed suicide. So it's in parameters or phases of suicidality. Again, we look at it with more understanding these days in 2 ways. Of course, we have that suicidal behavior that I've just described that moves all the way from thoughts and may go all the way to completed suicide, unfortunately. But we also have what we call non-suicidal self-injury.
Okay.
It is something we're coming to understand, that we have people, especially adolescents, who are cutting themselves, who are burning themselves, or self-inflicting some damage to tissues. Okay, so we now have better understanding that this, besides suicidal behavior, we also have this self-injury, and as I said, it's more common in young people. Now, back to your question: what effect does it have on the person? I'm not sure. It really has an effect. Okay, we try to intervene at the point at which the patient has suicidal thoughts or has suicidal behavior. Of course, if the person already has an attempt and they're successful, unfortunately we may have lost the battle. But at the point at which the other 3 parameters are happening, we do try to intervene. And part of what we do is, if we pick that the patient has a mental illness, then we treat the mental illness, whether it's through drugs, or in addition to drugs, we could also do talk therapy, where we talk to the patient and discuss the issues that could be troubling them. So through pharmacotherapy or using drugs, or through psychotherapy, which is talk therapy, we try to help and assist the patient, and sometimes to help them see that there's light at the end of that dark tunnel. So at that point, when the patient decides they're done, all they're seeing is darkness, and sometimes just going through therapy, they may probably see that there's light at the end of the tunnel. Yes.
All right. Let's talk about the community. How does suicide affect the community? There's been, and I'm getting this from the environment that I'm in, which is Kenya, and the places and the people I interact with. It's usually let's not, after someone's taken their life, let's not have a conversation about us. It's they've left us like this, they've left us like that, or they've left their family if it's a breadwinner, or if it's a mother with children. But these are still real. Real impact that they do have. Apart from this, how can we also approach the effect after that, after the case, after it has happened?
Suicide is one of the things that we regard in psychiatry as an emergency.
Okay.
Or suicidal attempts are a psychiatric emergency. This is because, as I've said, of the realization that when somebody is attempting suicide or is threatening suicide, then we know that this person is looking for help. I've said, unfortunately, that if we do lose the patient, then of course the society is left to deal with the act that has happened. First, let's start with the immediate family. That, of course, it's very devastating, and the immediate family will go through, of course, a shock, the denial, and sometimes going through phases where they're asking themselves, could they have done something, or did they do something that caused their loved one to die by suicide? And those who are left behind are troubled by this person who has taken their lives. So as a society, one of the things that we keep pushing for is do not make the family that has been left behind suffer more. And one of those that I always pick up and talk about is, unfortunately, sometimes our religious circles may be part of this, where the loved one of a family has passed on, and then the religious authorities decide that they will not go through the religious rites for this person to be laid to rest because of the act that they have done, because of certain thoughts that they have that it means that if somebody dies by suicide, this is what it means.
Right.
That is very devastating to family members. You can imagine if they have to bury their loved ones in the absence of these religious authorities, who at that point offer solace and help to comfort this family. So we need to be careful as a society that we are not part of the problem. This person has died by suicide. Let us support the family. Let us not add more to the family by making them blame themselves or making them think that they're not worth it because nobody is coming for their loved one's funeral, for example, or nobody is taking over the rites that need to be done for their loved one. So as a society, we need to be careful in the religious aspect. Again, as a society, we need to be supportive and stop stigmatizing people. There are people who go around and say, you see, in that family, so-and-so died by suicide. So that means, and they have very many explanations. Again, we need to be careful. Let's be sensitive to these people. If a family has lost somebody who's died by suicide, they are actually people who we as mental health workers really worry about, because at that point, with the devastation and the distress that this family is going through, we want to be careful that we would not lose another person.
All right.
So society needs to be careful that let us use that time, if it happens, to comfort this family, to be of help to this family, and let us not stigmatize or be quick to judge and sometimes to make very wild comments that are very hurtful.
I have here a question from a mail. I think I'd just like to sneak it in. It's Nguti is asking, once someone opens up to me that they are suicidal, what should I do?
Very good question.
Right.
Thank you for that.
What does someone do at that point?
Let's start by saying, do not be judgmental when somebody does. To listen to this person. Sometimes all it calls for is to allow for them to talk and you listen. The other thing you could do is offer help. If you're not able or in a position to give help, encourage this person to seek help from a health facility. If they have opened up to you, that's a good thing. And the other thing is, please don't post it on social media for the whole world to know. You subject this person to cyberbullying, and even when they get out of this, and everybody will be talking about it, including the employer, you have not helped them. You've increased the stigma. So if somebody confides in you, discuss it with them. Discuss with the loved one if you really must, support them, and again, help them or encourage them to seek help from a health worker.
All right. Is there a role that mental health resources plays in addressing these issues? And how can we access them to help the men around us?
We talk about it, like what we're doing today.
Yeah.
Part of what we're doing today is talking about it so that people know this is what it is they need to know about suicide. We encourage it even in social media circles. We discuss it. So wherever we are as mental health workers, we allow it, and we talk about it in many circles. And we discuss mental health issues. And part of why we do this is to reduce the stigma. Because if we didn't talk about it, then people wouldn't know how to seek help. So what we are doing, even as I said, as a Kenya Psychiatric Association member, I go about in whatever circles I have, whether it's family circles or circles, social circles, discussing about it. And we do that. So we encourage health workers, not just mental health workers, to go out there and talk about it so that people know that they can be helped.
All right.
Yes.
Just here on zero male suicide, is it possible for us to get to zero? And what exactly are we going to do? I know we've discussed about, having conversations just like the ones we're having, being more open and, moving away from stigma. What more can we do to ensure that it's at zero? Zero is a big number for this context. Yeah.
Sure. Zero is a big number, and it's very ambitious of us that we are positively ambitious that we can achieve zero male suicide. We wouldn't probably have zero suicide in society. Our aim is to reduce suicide.
Yeah.
Achieving zero, as you said, is not an easy task, but our aim is that we should reduce on suicide levels. And the reduction we're trying to do is talk about it so that those who are having suicidal behavior, those who are attempting and are screaming out and saying, I need help, get the help. And hopefully that as we do this, that we could save a larger number.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Zero male suicides. That's the conversation we're having here as we prepare for International Men's Day, going to happen on Sunday, celebrated all over the world, but also here within Kenyatta University on Friday. Are there activities that the School of Health Sciences is preparing for?
I know we are impacting the whole country and wherever KUTV is watched. We don't have specific activities lined up, but I know over the week we will be discussing mental health issues, which is part of what we think is most important, to get out there, to get not just our community in Kenyatta University, but even in the country and the world at large, to understand what is it that we can do.
All right. I'll also be sharing a couple of suicide emergency numbers and helplines in a few. So if you're out there needing help or online therapy or just a text, a phone call away, I'll be sharing those numbers in just a while. But as you heard there, on Friday, a couple of activities could be happening within Kenyatta University. I know the Student Association will also be informing us of what they have ready for the students, especially the male students within the institution and also the whole faculty. Just one last one, maybe to someone who's out there and they're watching this and what they've been used to, and I'm speaking this for a couple of people who are around my life, and it's really hard for these men to even open up to another man. It's like, they'll probably dismiss it or they'll have nothing to help me with. So if it's an economic issue, I got a job loss, or I lost a loved one, or niliachwa tu na niko na heartbreak, na mimi nacheza rugby, I am bulk, they know me as someone who's too strong. As we started earlier, men are the pillars of society. Just a word to them to also seek help, that it doesn't reduce your stature as a man in society.
Just to add on to what you've said and to help answer your question, yes, we need to go out there and tell people that they can be helped. One of the phrases that in mental health you'll hear us use a lot, we usually say, it's okay not to be okay.
Yeah.
Not because we justify and are happy with people not being okay, but the reason why we say it's okay not to be okay is for people to realize that not being okay is not a state that you need to hide or not talk about. It's okay to be in that state, but it's okay for you to seek help. So what we are advocating for out there is, if people are feeling they are not okay, if people are feeling overwhelmed, can we go ahead and encourage them without stigmatizing them to seek help?
All right. Yes. Without stigmatizing them, and then help them as well to seek help. If you're within Kenyatta University, is it possible to talk to someone, and will I be referred to a specialist later, or are they still within KU? If I needed to talk to someone.
In Kenyatta University, we do have facilities with the students. We do have facilities where students can go and seek help. So we have lots of counselors who are available in our setting. We also have our health services where you can also I'll say patients, but students and staff can also go and seek help. And besides that, beyond Kenyatta University, in every health institution, it doesn't have to be a psychiatry facility per se. Every health institution has the ability to manage psychiatry emergencies of suicide, that's attempted suicide or even suicidal behavior. So let's not just zero in only on thinking everybody must show up in a specialized psychiatry unit. Every health worker, for example, every medical students who we teach and who I teach, for example, in Kenyatta University, is well versed on how to take care of patients with mental health disorders, including how to deal with suicidal behaviors. And I believe that is the same training that every medical doctor in this country has. So it's possible that wherever you go to a health facility, whether you're meeting a medical doctor, a psychiatry nurse, or a psychiatry clinical officer, or even just a general practitioner, they're all trained in managing mental illness. If then they think it's beyond them, then they can refer. So there is help everywhere. There is help in Kenyatta University, there is help in our country, there is help in health facilities, whether public or private facilities.
Right, trying to get us to zero male suicide, especially here within our republic, where that is at a high rate. I was taking a look at, I think I've shared this before on my show, but just maybe one more time here on Art and Culture Monday. There's a growing alarm in Kenya over the shocking rise in the number of suicides, and almost 500 people are reported to have killed themselves in 3 months to June this year, and that is according to the Kenyan police alone. This is the statistics from the Kenyan police, so there could be more out there. The youngest person here was 9 years and the oldest was 76. A majority of this, they're saying, is males. It's a ratio of 1 to 3 when it's female to males within Kenya. So a report here that you can read for yourself in The Guardian that was published earlier in the year. We've had this conversation and you can get to check it out later. I think this is important for you to continuously be aware and also be referring to these effects and what the impact has within society for the individuals, the family, and the society as well. I think being together as a society will be really key in ensuring that all of us are feeling warm within the environments that we exist in. It could be hostile at work, it could be hostile at home, but I think if in general the community you exist in is very welcoming to men to open up, I think it will be easier for us in this goal of trying to get us to zero male suicides. I'll be sharing those helplines in a short while as well, but just let's get, if there's a last word from you that maybe I had left out, and then we take this short break.
My parting shot is what I've just said is a common phrase. It's okay not to be okay. Please seek help.
All right, seek help. And also plant trees today. It could be very healthy for your mental health. So go out there, it's the holidays, plant trees and celebrate with the rest of society. And also maybe this could be a chance for you to open up to a few individuals as you do this community-based tasks also in celebration of the holiday. Now, coming up next is also men are out there engaged in war in Israel, in Sudan, in the Congo. They're also being affected by the very harsh effects of war within us. There's a song out. This being Art and Culture Monday, we're using all our art to ensure that we are fixing whatever cultures are there within us. And then coming up for that kind of conversation, also to look at his song, which is trying to talk about the effects of war, is Bay Avalon. He's a singer, actor, and film director. Also appeared in the Transformers, the latest Transformers, as a voice for that wheelboat that I already talked to you about. So Bay Avalon joining us on Zoom live all the way from Venezuela. You don't want to miss out on that conversation. Engage us on the social platforms. I'll be right back.
Kutoka kuwa jamii ya kuhamahama na sasa kujumuisha kilimo katika mitindo yao ya maisha. kwenye toleo la kaunti ya Narok. Hii ni Boresha Kilimo, kwani afya bora ni kilimo bora.
Kwani kilimo ndicho huboresha maisha.
To the Church O'Clock. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Tero.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo umetune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Eva Hutoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Social creature, and their one-way form of connection is through relationships.
This line of the three is to ensure that a child who is in need of care and protection, a vulnerable child, or a child who has been abandoned, has a place that they can call home. A bit more temporary than guardianship, because the maximum period for foster care placement is 3 years, unless the court extends it for various reasons.
puedes ver, sé que me puedes escuchar. No me despiertes pronto tú, sé que es un sueño y no es real. Acércate, toda una guerra puede esperar. Déjame hoy besar el aire del valor en ti. Yo sé que estarás después que caiga con honor, sé que estarás aquí, junto a la llama del sol te encontraré. Somos volcanes en un sueño tú y yo. Tú mírame y el miedo no estará mañana al cabalgar. Junto a mi espada estarás tú en la batalla una vez más. Abrázame que el tiempo es corto, debo despertar así. Cuando te dé mi libertad, regresaré.
Right, that's Venezuelan artist Baudilio Bay Avalon, or better known as Bay Avalon. He's a singer, actor, and filmmaker. And if you take a look at some of those videos, you'll be confused whether you're watching a short film or a music video or listening to amazing voice there from Bay himself. So let's get him on. He's joining us live on Zoom here. Welcome to Art and Culture Monday, Bay Avalon. Good morning to you.
Hello.
How is it? How's the weather over there?
The weather, I mean, it's maybe 10 degree.
Okay.
And it's at 6 a.m.
All right.
It's the very morning.
Okay, you're getting up for. Do you have winter?
It's cold.
Do you have winter coming up?
Yes, the winter is beginning. It's autumn also, but actually it's autumn, but the winter is beginning.
Okay.
I think it's perfect. It's just perfect that this time because the summer was really tough. And, I mean, extreme hot, and I think it's a salvation time for me this autumn.
All right. Thank you for creating time for us this morning. Watching that video that we just played there, and also your latest song, which is No Hay Mucho Tiempo. I'm hoping I'm not butchering the pronunciation. No Hay Mucho Tiempo. We don't have much time. Looking at these videos, it feels like a film. It feels like I'm watching a movie. Did you direct this yourself?
Yes, actually, that video that is appearing on the screen is another song called Volcanes en el Cielo, Volcanoes in the Sky, on the sky. It's a short film. It's based on a short film that was actually my first short film during my film career, and it's about an independent hero of the independence of my home country. And I wrote a fiction story about that character, and all the scenes that you are watching on the video are representing the life of that character, important for my home country.
All right. The cinematic works here are it's out of this world. You're a really good filmmaker then.
Actually, I'm studying, and when I started filmmaking in Spain, but I have been involved with filmmaking since my early age, since I am a teenager. I love films. Actually, I find filmmaking as another stage of try to, as an actor, for example, the same way as you play a script is the same way I sing a song that I write, So it's the same process, creative process, when you are playing a character you are creating. When you are writing a song, and when you are playing your own songs, you are playing a character that you are creating. So the making process behind the creation of a song and a script is the same for me, because I am singing the song and I am playing the characters of my script.
All right. Also a very good actor, if it's anything to go by in your latest song, No Hay Mucho Tiempo. You're saying we don't have...
No hay mucho tiempo.
No hay mucho tiempo. No hay mucho tiempo. You're saying we don't have much time. What is the urgency? What is the urgent message?
First of all, I want to portray a character who are advising people in our time from a dystopic future, from a dystopic future. So he is preventing us, advising us that it's possible that we don't have much time to wait for fixed things that are happening now. In order to prevent war, to prevent a kind of apocalypse, it's necessary to look into ourselves in order to fix our flaws and to get better, bring out the better of us in order to get better our surroundings and our space and people. It's not a specific. I'm not talking about a specific situation happening right now, but also how can we improve ourselves in order to solve all that kind of situations that are important for us in order to prevent war.
All right, and that's coming very apt, especially you're saying it's not necessarily inspired by the current events, but it's happening at a time when the world is also facing this global crisis of war. How do you feel it's going to help raise awareness? Do you think it's going to be very apt now in inspiring change?
I think that is my purpose with my music in this stage of my career. I'm talking, in the past I was just talking about love in my songs, but nowadays I can, actually it's a time better for me to maybe improve my speech through my music in order to say the things that I wanted to say always. Those things are to maybe environmental things, maybe things related to people around you, in the world people are striving in famines and in drought, and that is very important to all, to everybody. And also, I think love is part of the creative making process of anything. I mean, when you are a journalist, and the love is implied in that. I think when I create a song talking about war, talking about people striving, the love is involved in that also.
All right. I see you've moved from love to what you currently are doing in terms of using your art to speak about issues, but still having love in between there in the messaging.
Yes, actually. Love isn't everything. I think.
All right. So this is also from your album, which is Messages from the Future. Could you maybe let us know
Messages from the Future.
Right. What revelations have you gotten from the future, and what concepts can we get?
No, it's not revelation. It's not related to revelation, but advices. As I told you, the song No Hay Mucho Tiempo is like a man from the future advising us about the situations are happening right now. And there are many songs that are talking about the weather, climatic change, etc. So
you're focusing on this kind of futuristic themes, and now we already have war. There are a couple of songs. How many more are we expecting from the album?
For example, there is another song which talks about the climate change, for example, and also because in Latin America there was a situation recently with the hurricane, I don't know if you know that the hurricane Oti, the maybe some probably vast all the Acapulco place in Mexico, and that was the byproduct of the climatic change, and that is important for us, and that is important for me, and so I wanted to portray that feeling that people may feel in that situation, struggling in that situation, and I wanted to portray that in the songs, in that song specific. But actually, I'm talking about love also in another songs because it's important to people to be represented in the love itself in the songs. And so both you can come across both kind of things in this album: love and maybe environmental or social themes in the songs.
All right. You're an artist with a diverse range of talents, from music to filmmaking to acting, and I can see it evidently, of course, in your music as of the moment. How do you draw inspiration from all of this and still, put it out in one piece of art?
Okay, I think I love the performance. As I can do my performance, I'll be pleased. I will be pleased. So when I'm acting, I'm playing in front of the camera, I feel the same when I'm singing in front of the camera. And so I don't find any problem to do the two things at the same time, because there are creative things, not production things. I have a team crew, a production crew, who are delegated in every task of the production, and I'm focused only on the creative part, and whether it is directing or is playing. And as I don't find problem to solve that problem. So I can play and direct films at the same time.
All right. No hay mucho tiempo. That was the pronunciation for that first song out of the album.
Yes.
I want you to help me pronounce this next one. Is it Mensajes del Futuro? Or how do I say it?
Mensajes del Futuro.
Mensajes
del Futuro.
Mensajes del Futuro. Where do we wait on Mensajes del Futuro? Where will we get the whole project once it's out?
I think maybe in January next year, the album.
All available on all streaming platforms, just as the
this moment. And I'm going to release another music video. I'm going to release another music video in December from another hit.
All right.
But it's a kind of surprise, no?
We'll wait on that. Your experience with Paramount Pictures is also something that was of interest to me. In the latest Transformer movies, that was really impressive. How did that opportunity come about, and what influenced your artistic approach on that one?
You mean that last work?
Yes, that last work with Paramount Pictures on Transformers. How did that come about?
Okay.
Yes.
Because I was creating the voiceover of a character called Will Jack.
Yes.
It's a Latin Autobot. So they choose me because my voice matches the character, And so it's like bring that character to life using your voice, and it's a very difficult job actually, because you must watch the character and see the moves, the movements, the mood of the character, and represent that character with your voice. And it was an incredible experience, an amazing experience, because I was recording in a huge studio in this country, Spain, when I'm resident here, and it was fascinating for me to represent that character, but also that it was the Spain dubbing of the movie Transformers.
Okay. All right, we'll be definitely sharing that information out some more. Are you going to continue in the filmmaking journey as well as you do music?
Yes. And I'm not planning right now to create another short films or film projects, but as we must to create music videos. For me, in order to create those music videos, the filmmaking process is related to that. So I'm focused on create the best of the best for me, and to bring the best of me to make the better music videos I can. So it's part of my work to create music videos. I'm very pleased to do that.
All right. Are you currently in Venezuela or in Barcelona?
In Barcelona, living in Barcelona.
All right, as an artist who's residing in Barcelona, I'm just interested, how does your environment or the cultural diversity that you've had to experience, how does it influence your music and your art so far?
Well, for example, here, even Spain is a European country, but it's a Latin country. And all the culture of this country is related to Latin America, many aspects of life. I mean, one of the most interesting things I find in this culture is the flamenco music. I don't know if you know flamenco music if you are here. But flamenco music has filtered to my music many times throughout my career, even in my home country. And I've been in touch with that music being here from the very beginning when I arrived here to this country. And that was a nurturing process for me in terms of music and composition.
All right. As an artist, when I'm taking a look at your catalog currently, you're as artistic as you are political, if I'm allowed to use that word on you at the moment. If you're speaking about, issues that are affecting society like war, environmental changes, climate change, and all that. Closer home, just to give you a bit of context, it's quite a difficult position artists find themselves in, which you have to maintain your artistic side, but also try and shy away from talking about issues of society. Is it possible to be an artist and maintain your artistic path, but also be able to highlight various issues which are happening within the society which you exist in?
Okay, I think that you can talk about the problems of society's problems from a general point of view, that at the same time, it may be profound at the same time. I mean, you are not restricted to talk about any specific problems, political problems from your surroundings or from the world today, but you can talk about the fundamental things that drive those problems. And even though that is political, you are not involved in political actual problems, and that is easy for me to talk about in that way, because it will prevent me to get problems with with the government or with any channel, TV or broadcasting channel,
All right. Your Venezuelan roots, how have they been impactful in your musical journey? Someone who's now currently in Barcelona, do your Venezuelan roots feature anywhere in your music?
Not that much, because I have been a rock musician all my life, but I think one of the things that are affected by the music, Venezuelan things that may be included in my style is the language. The words I use in my songs are the Venezuelan speech. So you can notice that in my songs, in my lines. You can notice that. But if you are a Spanish native speaker, you can notice that I am Venezuelan in my songs because of my way of talking when I'm singing.
All right. Okay. You're reaching out now to an African audience. What is your expectation? We are currently on KUTV Live, which is in Kenya, the heart of Africa. What is your expectation from this side of the world in terms of audience?
in terms of all this, okay, I think the music is universal. So maybe you can find maybe rock fans in Kenya. I don't know that like my music or pop rock music. I think there must be rock fans in Kenya, or people who loves rock, who loves pop rock.
Right, count me as one of those. Yeah, I'm now a big fan of your music.
So, what kind of music you hear? What kind of bands?
Local bands or international bands?
International bands.
Oh, right. I think I'm a bit of an old school head, so we'd go Linkin Park and,
okay.
that kind of old school hard rock. Yes, but now I have you here as my new artist on the lineup.
Okay, it's good.
All right.
Linkin Park is quite good.
Okay. In terms of your love side of the approach in music, are we going to get a purely love song at some point in the future? Because your voice, I bet it's very popular with people who are into love music.
Okay. I like love music. I love music. I mean, love is inherent of all the best song of the history of music, So I really enjoy to create love songs, and in this album there will be love songs, purely love songs, and that is a thing, an ingredient of the recipe that I always add in my albums, in my music.
Oh, okay. Any visits to any plan to visit this side of the world? A physical interview will be great.
Okay, I would like to visit some safari out there in Nairobi to visit the plains and those. I think there are kind of tourism safaris, and you can meet the lions and the elephants, and it looks amazing for me.
Yeah, I was actually, even location-wise, looking at your latest project in the desert in Catalonia. You'll get a couple of good shots here as well if you want to shoot a music video.
Okay, yes. And I'm going to discover places and locations in Kenya to figure out that my next music video maybe is the location is there. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. Please loop us in when you do that. But just to remind our audience that they can be checking out your latest track from the upcoming album, which is No Hay Mucho Tiempo. They can get it on YouTube. Yes, and it's a very good story, a narrative involving a soldier here who's resisting orders. Someone who's trying to contribute to a broader impact of society, and hoping that continuously your work will be highlighting some of these societal issues. Some of them affecting us here, as far as you are and as far as we are from you. Still, your message relates very heavily to the issues that we are going through here.
Yes.
Right.
So I think this song is something. It's a very different stage of my music life, and I'm enjoying that process of evolution in my career. And I think that audience will be pleased to hear my new stage of my new art stage and music stage.
Right. Bay Avalon, yours is beyond entertainment, is also in positive impact, and we are really, really, really grateful that you could create time for us here on Art and Culture Monday.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and I hope you enjoy my work as I do.
Yes, definitely. Let's just actually play your work as we leave this interview. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much to you.
Okay. Art and Culture Monday here. We just had a conversation with Bay all the way from Barcelona. Bay Avalon, you can be checking him out on YouTube. He has a couple of videos, very cinematic. He's also a filmmaker, but you can get his voice in the latest Transformers film, where he's voiced one of those boats, which is part of the Transformers. Let's go for a short break, and then in the meantime, we listen to this song, No Hay Mucho Tiempo. Let's enjoy.
Las personas menos preparadas para sobrevivir fueron las que superaron el desastre nuclear. Nadie de verdad se imaginaba que esto iba a pasar, pero no había mucho tiempo.
Come back now. I'm not your soldier anymore. Burn out. You don't enter the desert. You don't enter the desert. Squadron 5 shut down by its owner.
Immerses you in an atmosphere of intrigue and emotion. You might not understand exactly what is going on in terms of language, but you definitely are in tune with the emotions of that song. And that is artist Bay Avalon, or known as Baudilio Bay Avalon, better known as Bay Avalon. You can check him out on YouTube and on other streaming platforms. No Hay Mucho Tiempo is the latest out of the upcoming project, which is Messages from the Future. He's trying to help us, or trying to put into context, talking about things on how we must change ourselves to avoid the imminent threat that war represents to humanity, and other songs within this upcoming project in January, which will be also focusing on other issues, other threats, which will be something that humanity should be taking a look at. Bay Avalon, continue checking out his stuff out on YouTube. Coming up in a short while, we're continuing. That is a musician and filmmaker. Now we're coming to filmmakers who will be joining me on set here at 224. It's a production company by young creatives in the Republic who are doing films that are communicating our stories. And one of those stories will be aired in New York this December. You don't want to miss out on that conversation. I'll be right back. But in the meantime, continue enjoying this.
Fashionistas, get ready to level up your style game. Tune in to Fashion Diaries every Monday at 8 p.m. with me, Ashley Asachi. From Kia Hills to split suits, we've got the trends that will make you shine. Don't be left out. Join us for a fashion-filled adventure.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Lola ni programu inayokupa fursa ya kutizama video zozote pindi tu unapokuwa na nafasi. Hadithi za kukupa motisha, drama, maisha ya vyuo vikuu, teknolojia, masuala ya jamii, kuzuru maeneo tofauti, spoti, burudani na zaidi. Pata programu ya Lola sasa kwenye rununu yako kwa yote unayohitaji.
Kaka mtazamaji popote ulipo unapokuwa ukitazama Safina Show
inang'oananga sasa hivi. Ungana nami Albanas Mwania, nahodha wa Safina Show, nikutoe ng'ambo ya pili hadi ufuoni. Safina Show, sauti ya matumaini.
Bajuka ni kama unarusha mamikono, tingisha kichwa chungu sivute kisogo.
Mbona nyinyi na wawasha nkikula nyama choma tu firifiri na
give me your hand and shoulder. I'm feeling vibes on vibes. I'm a ticking diner. Tell them twerking, pull up the lambas swerving.
I work so hard, you know I don't want no stress. I no get time to impress. Call that girl with a lovely dress. Yeah, yeah.
To the Church O'Clock Show. I'm your host, Esther Becky.
And my name is DJ Tero.
We start you off with a word of prayer and get you started with a live transformational worship experience. And have our minds renewed by the word of God on the word segment.
And not forgetting new music za hii wiki, yani ndakuwa bado nawapatia pale wasanii wamekuwa kiwakali. So make sure manzo umetune in because zitakuwa zina flow pia pale mixes kwa wingi, yani zitakuwa zina come through, and pia performance yani from our gospel artist hapa on Gospel Art
from 7 to
10 a.m. only on KUTV.
I'm Associate Professor in the Institute of Philosophy of Jagiellonian University in Krakow, Poland, and I'm the main coordinator of the Cafe project, which is being here hosted by Kenyatta University.
My name is Ewa Hudoba. I am a project manager in this consortium. Keep watching cutting edge research at Kenyatta University Television.
Wakenya tusonge, tuvuke mabonde. Mimi ni shujaa, naipenda nchi yangu daima milele, daima milele.
All right, story yetu there from Art 224. We are having them here on the set, but first of all, welcome back to Art and Culture Monday. I'm happy that you guys have been creating time since we started on a cold morning at 7 a.m. and now we are here still doing it on this 45th Monday. 45th Monday, as Karen Blessing will tell you. We have 7 more towards the end of the year, and so far on the show, we've been highlighting how art is having a look at the culture around us and highlighting the issues that we have. We've spoken to a musician there all the way from Venezuela, based in Barcelona. Earlier we were discussing men's mental health issues and how to achieve zero male suicides. So now we're taking a look at more of our culture, and we're taking a look at it from the lens of filmmakers from Art 224. Let's have a look at this trailer from one of their films, When It Rains. It has won a couple of awards, and we'll be also talking about it in a bit.
Why awaken me, brother? I seek answers. Brave to bear the consequences.
Okay. It's going to be okay. We'll get through this together. Honey, you're a team, okay?
Just you, Isa. Thing is, all this time I've been fighting you when you're just me. Do you hear that? Someone's calling.
Are here with me. We're just enjoying those trailers, and also just discussing with the whole crew here at KUTV on how much they should be enjoying it as well. Be checking out their YouTube. But I'm here with Njoroge John. She's an actress and also a marketer at Art 224 Production. She's accompanied by George Mulinge. Is assistant director and assistant CEO at Art 224. It is a production company by young creatives here in Kenya. They have been winning awards, and they are still winning awards. They are filming, and they are screening, and they are winning. I just want to hear all of it from them. So let me allow them to introduce themselves here on Art and Culture Monday, and then now we can discuss what is awaiting them in New York in the next month, but also how can you contribute? How can you help them? We are trying to build the film scene in Kenya. So what is your role in participating? Here's a chance for you. Let's hear from them. Welcome to the show, John.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself, and then we get to hear from the gentleman, alafu we get to this discussion.
Hello, my name is Njoroge John. I'm a 19-year-old, an actress, and the chief marketer of the Art 224 Production Company.
All right, gentlemen.
Good morning, everybody there at home. My name is George Mulinge. I'm a filmmaker, and under film, I'm a first assistant director and a casting director. I'm also the assistant CEO of Art 224 Production, And I would like to leave you with one thing that I always like to say. Si bora filamu, tunataka filamu bora.
Ati nini?
Si bora filamu, tunataka filamu bora.
Kweli, na hiyo ndio audience wanasema all over in the country, and we'll get into those details. Filamu bora ama bora filamu. That's a very good way to begin it. Assistant CEO, what does an assistant CEO do?
Basically, the assistant CEO is also called the chief operating officer.
Okay.
I receive all the information from the CEO, from the other people who are under me, and I make sure those operations are run and are actually met too.
Okay, this is then going to be a relevant question for you. Why Art 224? I'd assume, and everyone I think will, it'll be Art 254. Why Art 224? Which country is that? Well, it's not based on a country.
It's not based on countries. This is actually a code. We are artists. And when we started this thing, we said we are going to do art today. We were doing art before. We are going to do it today. We are going to do it tomorrow, and we are going to do it forever.
Okay.
So we said it's Art 224. Art today, tomorrow, and forever.
All right, that's a good one. That's a good one. Art 224. Very creative. You should be creative. You're trying to get into the creative industry, and I think that's a first step, getting the name right.
Yeah.
Let's get to hear from Njoroge Joan now. You're a 19-year-old actress. How does it feel like to be in that age when, I am sure you've looked at the pool of actresses in the Republic, the most well-known, the most celebrated, are a bit way older than you. How do you feel your space is like within this kind of industry?
Okay, first of all, I'll say I'm privileged and graced. And I feel like it's a challenge for me, and it's a challenge to the people who look forward to see what I can do, because I feel like I want to make sure I reach the very goal that I wanted to reach when I was a 9-year-old. So I can say I feel privileged and challenged.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have years of experience. I think they need to know, even at 19, you started way back, right?
Yeah, I started way back in primary, because I remember my primary never used to have drama. So I used to go to other schools while they're, practicing, and I just dodge. And so I feel like when I joined high school, I joined the drama team, and I did very well in drama. So coming to campus, of course, I don't mind.
Well, Koko, stage fright ni rumors, right? I'm guessing every actress and actor has confidence inbuilt or something like that, no?
It's not inbuilt. Let's say it's developed over the years.
Okay.
And having to be on stage several times, I can say it just disappears by itself.
Okay. Art 224, I'm sure that's where you're also honing your skills, and I'll just get to hear from the assistant CEO there. Are you also, before we get into the work that you're doing, are you also helping grow creatives and young actors and actresses as well?
Just as the name suggests, it's Art 224, Art today, tomorrow, and forever. Art 224 is a home of creatives. I would like to say that we are proudly Kenyatta University students, and how this began was through coming together as creatives. She's a creative, I'm a creative, and other creatives. We came together and we built something. So yes, we are bringing in creatives.
Are you an actor yourself?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. I can get to see it there. Are you in any of these films before we get into them now?
The three. The three, I was not lucky to be an actor because I was behind the camera, but I'm in so many. Since the start, I'm in so many.
All right.
Yeah,
you also told me you're a casting director, right? So I'll be doing my monologue in few minutes after you go on with the interview, and then maybe I'll get my slot here today. But next month, you guys are poised to have your film screened over in New York. Please let us know a little bit about that, and then we can move back to the other films from before.
Okay. On June this year, we managed to participate in a competition called Plural Plus Festival. It's associated with the UNHCR and the UNAOC. which are the organizations in the UN that are in charge of the immigration, social inclusion, xenophobia, and social inclusivity. Yeah. So we managed to participate in that competition where we presented our film Mirami. And we thank God, and we are lucky to have been selected to represent Kenya on the 15th of December in New York. So our film Mirami will be screened on the 15th of December in New York. And we are lucky to have gotten one of the partners of the Plural Plus, which is CR, which is an organization in Spain, which deals with the same themes that we were talking about in that film Mirami. They managed to pick our film, and they said we are good, and they selected 12 members of our group, and they've been invited to the screening in New York on the 15th December.
All right.
Yes.
New York, 15th of December.
Yes.
Joan, being involved in such projects which are getting recognition, getting awards, and getting to be filmed on an international level, how does that make you feel at this moment in your journey?
I can say it's humbling. It's humbling because it's work input. The sleepless nights, the work you put in, seeing it's like it's paying back. First of all, you can say it's God's grace, and it's also humbling.
Okay.
Still, we have not reached where we would want to be, and we're still pushing on.
Right. How are you guys telling stories? Because you're telling the stories of our people, of our culture, through film. How do you feel you guys are doing that?
As a creative, having whatever you're trying to show or to highlight in the society, having it noticed and people actually getting to know what you are trying to preach is what makes you feel home as a creative. Because after all, we're not chasing the bag, we're chasing change, we're chasing diversity in the society. So I can just say it feels nice.
All right. You're not just chasing the bag. You are chasing the bag. Let's just put it, let's make it clear. You still are chasing the bag, but also change and all the other things, yeah?
The bag comes as a prize.
Okay.
As a gift from the world. As a gift
for the work that you've...
From the world, because it's appreciating your efforts. It's appreciating what you're trying to show the society.
All right. That's a good way to put it. Assistant CEO, filamu bora ama bora filamu. What makes your filamu, which is going to New York, bora?
First of all, as I would like to put it in our able CEO Calvin Oyula's words, we like to follow instructions.
Okay.
We know what we saw what was expected of us in that submission, and we have seen what is going on in the world. We are creatives. We like to see it like a pinhole. You see it, you perceive it upside down, but the image is still correct, As human beings, we usually walk around with a label. People look at you and see you as the label they see you, but some people never try to go deep to see someone as they are. So in the film Mirami, we talk about this girl, Ayan. Ayan is a Muslim girl who has come from a war-torn Somalia and sought out refuge in Kenya. But when she comes here, she faces all kinds of discrimination because of the label that people have grown up or have been they have been taught the way they have been wamefunzwa wajue, but that's not how it is. They say when you see someone looks like this, they are this, but that's not how it is. There's more to that person, yeah. So the film, when we did that and we told that story and we tried to show that there is more to a person, more personal, more deep. Every person is an own individual. You don't need to say that person is that kind of person. You need to know them as they are. We sat down, we created something like that. We shot it, and how we are happy that the jury saw that this is good and this is what we want to go with.
All right. I think now that we are there, which is also a part of marketing, and she's a marketer for art. I'll just ask you about the industry at this point. What do you think we could do more, or even with what we are doing, how do we improve and market our films as a country? We need to win the Oscars. We need to win more. We need to be out there. What do we do to market ourselves and have filamu bora zetu ziko huko nje? More and more, as we still have you guys in New York, we need to have a couple of other guys also. What can we do?
First of all, I'll say this. For you to market yourself better, you need to have filamu bora, because you need to show someone the quality so that they can be like, oh, so you made this. The other thing is, quality convinces people that film is good. We have grown in societies where our parents don't believe in art, our parents don't believe in film.
True.
But in whatever we do, however we do it, we try to bring the best quality so that we can convince them that it's actually giving. So as a marketer, I could just say, first things first, make filamu bora.
Okay, make filamu bora. As of the moment, we are not yet there exactly as an industry, right? We don't have many of our filamus as bora. What do you think will be, what is the challenge? Why are we not getting filamu boras then at this point?
There are a lot of challenges for the film industry, starting from the finance. Making a film requires a lot of money.
I bet.
And raising the funds, especially for young creatives, is so hard. So first of all, the country has to come in and be ready to support these young creatives. They need this and this and this and this, the equipment, the whatever. We just need that. And we also need support from our fans, from our own country people, stop supporting South Africa, support what is home first. You feel me? Yeah.
All right. And we need support for you guys to go to New York next month. We'll be getting to send out that call out in a short while. But let's move back again. When it rains, it is raining as of the moment. So when it rains like it is now, but away from that, you guys have a short film from before. Tell us about When It Rains, and what is it about, an assistant CEO?
Okay, so When It Rains, I'll speak about it as the assistant. I was one of the supporting writers.
Okay.
The casting director, and I was the script supervisor. So we'll begin from where it started. When It Rains, we began immediately. We shot Mirami for that competition. We took it as our own responsibility. We have people here in Kenyatta University who are always waiting for R224 to release something. We said it's 1 month to school opening. Let's create something that these people wakitoka long holiday, they will come and watch. So we sat down with the writers for a month, writing, doing the pre-production, casting, looking for locations. And we were lucky. We participated in a film pitch by Avant Studios. If you know Avant Studios, they have done Nairobi on Netflix. They have done An Instant Dad on Netflix. Thank you to Jennifer Gatero. They're a big production studio. They sent out a pitch to young producers, and they told them, pitch your scripts, your synopsis to us, and the winner will get the studio and the equipment for free. My producer and I, we did that. We pitched it, and we were lucky to win the pitch. So we can say that's where our winning streak began. We were lucky to win the pitch by Avant Studios, and in that month we got the studios and the equipment for free.
How long ago was this?
We started in July. That was how many?
July,
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months ago.
Yeah. So in July, that's when we saw that. We wrote a synopsis, and the synopsis, we wrote it even before the script because it was a pitch. So we needed to come up with an idea. We sent the idea, and we said, now let's write the script as we prepare. and we got the equipment and the location. That's when we went. By the time the dates were ready, we had already finished the script, the casting, the location, everything. We went and shot the film. It was actually a very tedious process because it's way up in Kiserian.
Okay.
We were supposed to start. I was the one creating the call sheet. We were supposed to start at 9, but we started shooting at 2. So we shot until 3 in the morning because it was a one-day shoot. We could not go back to here Kawaskari, then Kiserian. So we shot from 2 in the afternoon up to 3 in the morning, non-stop. We finished, hopped on our cars, on our vehicle, came back, and then we got to the post-production, edited it, and we screened it on the 23rd of September.
Where was the screening at?
We screened it at Nairobi Institute of Music and Performing Arts. It's in Roysambu, Zimmerman.
Yeah.
And we were lucky. We were happy, and we were blessed to have. We had a full house that day. Thank you to all the people who managed to come to the premiere of When It Rains on the 23rd of September. You mean everything to us, and you have been part of our journey. Yeah.
All right, that is a great one. And you've also had winning streaks. Let me get back to Joan there. I was going to hear about your on-screen presence, but you're also very active, behind the scenes, right? You're a marketer. What other roles do you get to be involved in when you're off the camera?
Yeah, I still do wardrobe and makeup behind the cameras. So I help not the marketing department, but the costuming department to, it's not easy on set. It's like shot after shot. So like, it's not easy to do makeup for everyone and costume everyone, ensuring everything is running smoothly. Yeah.
I bet being also behind the scenes helps you understand how easy you should give an easy time to the people who are behind the scenes when you're in front of the camera.
Yeah, of course. And I can say this, the set has to be the toughest place I have been my whole life.
Okay, how's that?
It's overwhelming. At the same time, it's satisfying because you're making something that you like, but at the same time you have to be working under pressure. It's not, I don't think there's anyone who enjoys working under pressure, but at the end of it all, it pays.
I mean, like shooting all the way to 3 in the morning, and I see this with a lot of filmmakers. When it gets to 11 p.m., mostly I'm lights out, my brain shuts down. So what keeps you on to be on at a shoot all the way till the early hours of the morning? What is it that you're chasing at that point?
First of all, I can say I'm so lucky to be working with people who their backgrounds are untouched by film. They've not gone to any film school, so all I can say is dedication and passion that keeps you chasing, that keeps you going. Because after all, you still have other things to do. You're not just a filmmaker. I'm a student. So I have to do it until that time so that the next day I can make time for something else. And still, creatives are not lazy.
Now, you've brought out a very important point there, a very unique background where you're working with individuals who are untouched by traditional theater and filmmaking. How does that influence or better your storytelling and filmmaking? I'll start with you and then hear it also on that very same question from him. How does the unique background of not having, gone through the traditional theater training, how does it influence your storytelling right now?
First of all, do I have to mention talent? It's inborn. Okay. It's in you. So you're not forcing acting. You're not forcing this into you. It's in you. So you just have to execute. And I feel it has to be easier than having to go to a school. Because I can just be staying and just decide, let me watch something about film. Because it's in me.
You're not restricted.
So I feel like having it inborn is easier for me, and it makes it better for me.
All right. Bwana upcoming CEO, assistant CEO, do you agree with the same? That kind of unique background, how does it help?
When you grow up, when you come and get into the film industry without ever being to film school or you just now have to do it how you know it. Yeah,
it's do or die.
It's a do or die. You train on the job.
Okay.
You train on the job. you finish with your 1 year in school, but you have 5 years experience on the job, and that's what matters. You
Okay.
know? So I'm lucky. I'm also lucky. These people are so dedicated. They're so passionate. They know what they want. They know what the end point, what they want at the end. So also being not untouched in theater, you know, theater creates the best actors in film. Yeah, but also not being affected, you know, theater and film, they might also be in the same field, but they are different.
They're not really.
Yeah, yeah. So when you fully focus on film, you'll become the best in film.
Because
When
you have now singular focus.
Yeah, and when you focus on theater, you'll become the best in theater. So that's how I usually see it. And also I usually go by another word by our able CEO. He told me, you can become whoever you see or whatever you see. What you have to do is just follow the protocol.
Okay.
You just have to learn, what did this president do to get there, and do exactly the same way in your own way, and you'll get there. If you want to be the best filmmaker, you'll just have to follow the protocol. Follow, if it's waking up at 4 and sleeping up, you just follow the straight steps, and in your own way, you'll get to wherever you need to be.
All right. Like me here now on the set of Art and Culture Monday, I sometimes have delusions that I could be cast on a film somewhere. So what do I need to add now that you've assessed me? Let's say this is an audition. I've already presented a couple of items here. Let's call it my monologue. What else do I need to add on the sauce so I can fit into the film industry?
I'll tell you, and I'll also tell those people who are watching us at home.
Yes.
Just as I've said, the protocol. Learn how whoever you see, the place that you wanna be, whoever is there, what they did. But I'll give you some of the requirements you need to package yourself as an actor in the market. First of all, you'll need very clear headshots, full body pics that you'll always put in your catalog just in case there's a casting call out there. You send them. You'll also need some pre-recorded monologues that you'll also have. You can just keep on recording monologues and also keep on turning up for several auditions. And as I've told you, acting, there's not this much of kipendeleo. That's what I was told. You know, you're saying he was picked because, no, he was picked because the director saw that he will do what I envisioned. It was not that you are a better actor or no. He fit the role, she fit the role. So she followed the protocol. And you can also fit the role if you follow the instructions.
All right.
And the protocol.
Follow instructions seems to be a very huge part of your production.
Yeah, it's all about the discipline. It's not production, generally film. Yeah, just following instructions and the protocol also. Yeah.
Do you follow instructions, Joanne? I know that actresses and actors love to veer off the script sometimes and to show off their prowess. Do you always follow instructions, or do you also go off script sometimes?
Let me just say, I do my best to follow instructions. Yeah, because in everything we do, everything has instructions. In everything we do.
Okay.
At home, in school, even in church, there are rules to follow. So I feel like
there's no freestyling.
Yeah.
You have to follow instructions, definitely.
Yeah,
you have something to add there?
But as an actor and an actress, part of following instructions is doing what you've said. Part of being an actor is not reading the lines how they are. It's knowing what you're acting, embodying it, being the person. So if you get what that scene is supposed to do, you can veer off from the lines, but as long as the message is passed, it's also part of following the instruction, because it bring out as naturally as you can.
As possible.
Yeah. So the words might, the writer when he's writing, he might try it and this is not, someone will not say this in a, the writer is trying to say some big fancy words there to impress the producer. And then you as the actor, you have more experience in acting, nobody will say this type of lines in a norm, but you know how to say it and it brings out the same emotion.
Okay, following instructions. You guys have been on since last year? Was it last year? You guys told me last year, February.
Yes.
Right. We've been in the industry from February till now, and as we was discussing challenges with John there, the issue of capital. You know, to do a film requires a lot of money, a lot of equipment, and I've learned something from you in that there are opportunities. You can apply for this, you know, some of the competitions such as the ones you have already applied to get funding here and there. Are there other opportunities that maybe filmmakers should be thinking of? Those who are outside of Art 224, so that they are not just stuck on waiting for their star to shine at some point. What other opportunities have you seen that filmmakers can take advantage of?
First of all, for the budding filmmakers out there, as he has already said, the first one is the film festivals. Film festivals are so many, and if you go out there on Instagram and search for them, you'll find there are some which have free submissions, others you have to pay for them, but you can go out there. There's also other pitching to investors and clients, which is also a very tedious process, just shooting and presenting to a film festivals. Yeah, but there's pitching your scripts to clients, to TV stations, and so on. This other one, just getting funding from your family members, from your friends, people who support you. You know, there's always a way. There's always a way. Penye nia pana njia. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you wanna do it so much, you can even do a film for zero budget. Which, because I like to say, if you do a film for zero budget, it still turn out a film. But it may not turn out the best. But it's always good to start, because showing people what you're doing is more important than just telling them to have them open. The style that we use was starting from where we started from zero budget. Zero budget on YouTube, just doing zero budget, just calling ourselves, shooting with phones, just to show what we can do. And with time, people are started seeing what we can do. And with time, we get you can get people who are hopping in just that 500, that 1,000, and that motivates you to even do more. Because the more you do, also the more your brain continues releasing even better content to put you in this position that you are.
Okay.
So to any aspiring filmmaker there, I would like you to create the films.
Right.
Get all the films. Try to pitch them to these festivals, but try your best to shoot the films. Don't be sitting on a script. Try to shoot a 1-minute script, 2-minute scripts, zero budget. You can even shoot a film by yourself. Just try to boost those creativity brains in your head. Release those films, and someone out there will see you, and you'll get the recognition that you want, and you will get there you want. Right. It's always a journey. We are not yet there, but with the support that we'll get, we hope one day to get there.
Okay. And we're calling out for your support. Remember, we are giving you information on their screening, which is happening the 15th next month. We need you to support them to go all the way to New York. But just before we get there, on zero budget, Joanne, now we have phones, right? So even marketing is easy for us as a marketer, even shooting films. I was trying to get the film that you guys, the competition that you guys participated in, the mobile competition. What was it? Storieto. Okay, that was used. That was done using a smartphone. How easy is it now making films and marketing films with the technology that we have?
Am I allowed to say it's never easy?
Okay.
It just gets better.
Okay. It's never easy, it just gets better.
Yeah.
All right.
Because shooting with a phone at the moment seems easy, but it's not easy. And for marketing, I can just say it needs zeal and zest, and the ability to develop and execute marketing strategies.
Okay.
Sometimes it means working at 10 p.m., like even meeting someone in person and trying to tell them, I do this.
Watch this.
Yeah,
this
so
platform.
I can just say it's not easy. It only gets better because with time you also get familiar with the marketing environment. So it stops becoming hard because social anxiety is real. You can decide I want to market, but you get there and you do nothing. So I can just say it gets better.
Social platforms, are you using TikTok to maybe post a few of these clips?
Yeah, we are on all platforms as Art224 Production. You guys can check us and follow. And also, if you want to know where to, we also have our website.
Okay.
And if you want to see our films, some of them are on YouTube, some of them are on our website. And plus, you can follow us on our socials so that you can get updated.
All right, that's Art224. We are using social media to also market ourselves as of the moment. I've seen a couple of filmmakers in Kenya wanaenda kwa barabara inabidi wameinua ka sign, yeah? So maybe, watch story yetu at this platform, and as she said there, it doesn't get easy, it only gets better. Even on using social media platforms isn't really easy, it's only now better, able to reach a lot of people. Let's talk about story yetu, and then we talk about the Mirror Me. So story yetu is a story of Kenya at 60. Kenya will turn 60 next month. Right? What is in the story? What story is in story yetu?
So story yetu is a short. It's a 3-minute short film that we shot with a phone for the Alliance Francaise Short Smartphone Film Competition. Kenya, we have seen Kenya grow from when it was built up by our forefathers, Akina Jomo Kenyatta, Dedan Kimathi. So story yetu follows this guy, Masaku, who is a potter. He and his other potters, they create this pot, which symbolizes how the forefathers fought for this country, and they built this country, the pot. Now this pot now becomes the cooking pot, and it's placed somewhere outside for the villagers to enjoy this meal. But now that's when these villagers now, they want to take it for themselves. They don't want to share it amongst each other. This side wants to take it for themselves, and this one wants to take it for themselves. So they start fighting for this pot. And as they fight for this pot, their children who come, they have an empty plate. They were playing, now it's time for lunch. They want to go for food. To come into their disappointment, these people are now fighting for the pot. Instead of sharing, they're fighting for it. And in the chaos, the pot ends up breaking.
Okay.
Which now calls for these people now to come together. And now, because if the pot is broken, nobody will eat. The children will not eat, them themselves either. They won't eat. So there will be nothing for anybody.
Okay.
So they decide to come together and rebuild this pot now all together. And now they share the food.
Right, go on.
The story now ends now with the people now coming together, building up the pot and sharing the porridge that was inside together.
Okay.
Now this now is to call to all the people who are involved in this country, all the citizens of Kenya, in and outside. Let's not fight for this pot, because this pot was built with collective effort. And now when we have food in it, we should not fight for it. We should always find a way to share it equally, or else we'll just end up breaking the pot and we'll miss out on the food, all of us.
Okay, let's have a look at the trailer. Shot on phone. Can you believe it? Let's see it.
Kila siku kazi kuijenga nchi yetu. Wakenya tusonge, tuvuke mabonde. Mimi ni shujaa naipenda nchi yangu.
right. Where can we see that? Where can we watch that? Joan. Story yetu.
So apparently, we have not posted Story yetu on our socials yet.
Okay.
So I'd urge people to just follow us so that they can be updated. Because we are yet to post.
Okay. No problem, no problemo. Who was involved in this project before we get to talk about next month?
I was involved. I was the first assistant director and the casting director.
Okay.
Yeah. And she was one of the actors. Yeah, and also the marketer. She was the chief marketer, and I would like personally, I would like to thank her here. She was one of the people who helped us bring this award home, the People's Choice, because now it was people voting. She was the one who was spearheading us being in the hostels at till 11. She was the one spearheading us being shopping center each and every day, kwa socials, pale Instagram. So, and also the other crew now, the whole crew of Story Yetu, who took part in the marketing and also the creation. I would like to big up Alvin Asuza. If you have listened, there was some original music.
Yes.
That is original music that was written by Alvin Asuza.
Okay, what's the name of the song?
It's not yet out. It was made specifically for the film.
Okay.
So stay tuned there at A224 Production, and you'll get to know when we'll release the song and the film. I would like to big up Ian Afrey. Is also a musician, part of the creatives that we work. He's also a musician. He was the one who made the music for When It Rains. And Musa Kahindi. They were the sound designers for the Story Yetu and When It Rains.
Right, Story Yetu, Kenya at 60. Kenya turns 60 next month. That's a very timely film for you to wait on and watch. Now let's speak about next month at the same time, which when Kenya turns 60, at 224 will also be presenting some. That is shot on phone. I can't believe it, man. I'm just looking at that trailer and it's impressive. Whoever is also behind the camera, who is it?
His name is Juma Julik. He was the DOP and the editor, and there is Troy Bryan, who also, they were the DOPs. Troy Bryan and Juma Julik, big up wherever you are.
Impressive
Not
work.
to forget our able cinematographer.
Okay, who's that?
His name is Wayne Weiss.
Okay. Wise.
Wayne Weiss.
Wayne Wise.
Yeah.
Must be a wise man. Those shots look really wise, yeah? Come from a place of wisdom. Let's talk next month then. You guys are hoping to go to New York. I will start with you there. What kind of help do we get to channel from the audience so that we ensure Nyote Mefika New York, we get those selfies from you guys, get those images while it's screening as well?
First and foremost, this industry of film, as you said, it's a tough one. But we were lucky this year. I was at the SOTFI, the State of Film Industry, where it was hosted by Talanta Hela, courtesy of Ababu Namwamba. I was there, and he promised us filmmakers that he was going to be all for us. The whole event, he said he was in Hollywood for courtesy for all of us. So first of all, before I venture to other people, I would like if Ababu Namwamba, you can, the cabinet secretary, Honorable Ababu Namwamba, if this message gets to you, we are young filmmakers here at the Kenyatta University. We have gotten a chance to represent the whole country in New York this year. If you can take it, we will be very much glad to be there, represent Kenya physically, let along with the film as it is being screened. You can take us upon your wings, and you can enable us to get there. Also, other well-wishers and other lovers of film who are in a position to help these young creatives get to the New York and experience the film winning firsthand, we will really appreciate. And also, if you are willing to draw something to this production and help us create more beautiful films, we would be more than happy and more excited to welcome you to work with us.
All right. That's a call out to the government, to stakeholders, and also to film enthusiasts. Please do support Art 224 in their bid to represent us in New York. And also, if you have an extra Mount for 13th person. I'll be there as assistant chief marketer for Art 224 in New York. Ama ni aje Joan? Si tunaenda pamoja?
Vile inafaa.
Vile inafaa. So please do support them, follow them on social media, and offer any form of support, connection, or phone call even that you can provide to them. Being a young actress and, you know, seeing this film going all the way to New York, which is closer to Hollywood, do you think industry yetu tutafika those levels as a Hollywood? We have our own Oscars. I know we had dreams of having Grammys as well from CS Ababu na Mwamba. Do you think we are going to get there in your lifetime?
First of all, I don't think. I believe. And I can say it only takes time and effort. For the recognition. It's not that there are people who are better than us. We only need to better ourselves.
That's true.
Yeah, so I can say I believe.
Okay, you believe, and I hope everyone else out there is believing. Art 224 production. Guys, anything that I might left out, any shout outs that you want to do, this is the time. Let me start with the gentleman, and then we finish up with Joan. Shout outs or last words there. You know, tulianza kwanza na quote kutoka kwako, so I'm hoping you have more of those. Please drop them at this point.
Yeah, I had said hatutaki bora filamu, tunataka filamu bora. And to achieve that, we will need financing, we will need us as writers. The writers will need to dig deep into our brains to get our story. We'll need to stop adapting any stories from outside. We'll need to adapt from our own stories. And that's the only way we can create. For us, for our film industry to be accepted globally, we ourselves, the community, the Kenya, we need to accept ourselves. The film industry needs to accept itself for that our films can be accepted globally. Those are my parting shots, and before I leave, I would like to big up our able CEO, Mr. Calvin Oyula. He is the glue. He is the one who has put this all together and enables us to reach this place, spearheaded us, all of us to reach this place, and being our producer for those films. I would also like to thank Avant Studios for the amazing opportunity they managed to give us to shoot When It Rains. I would like to big up Plural Plus for selecting us, the film, and enabling us to get a chance to get to New York. I would like to big up the New York Istanbul Film Festivals for the selection they made for our film When It Rains, and it will be screened also in New York during the awards ceremony. Now we await to see if we are the winners. I would like also to big up Eldoret Film Festivals. We have just received a selections this morning for the film When It Rains. And I would like to big up our able DOP, Juma Julik, for the work. For all these projects, he has been the one behind the camera and also the editing. So big up to him.
All right.
And the whole cast and crew for everything you've done till this moment. Let's continue up with the same spirit, and let's continue watching for Art 224 production and the entire Kenyan film industry in general.
All right. John, your chance.
As a marketing director, I will start by saying charity begins at home. So shout out to my marketing team, because they have enabled me to be the best marketer Art 224 production has had so far. And if it's not for their efforts, I would not have made it alone. I led them, but they followed. So a shout out to them, and a big shout out to my fans, to the fans of Art 224. You guys, thank you for voting for us. Thank you for coming through financially, and in any way we need you that you come through. We really appreciate that, and you are a big part of us. So yeah, that's mine.
All right. Thank you very much, John. And also a couple of Kenyan films are getting themselves a slot on Netflix and, you know, other international platforms like HBO. So I'm hoping to see you guys soon on Netflix, yeah? Nataka siku moja tu nikae niambie hawa tunajuana. Imagine hawa nimekuwa nao. Si ndio amani aje John? All right. Please continue supporting Art 224 production. I am coming back to read your feedback. So tell me what you have to say about the conversations we've had from the beginning of Art and Culture Monday. Let me take a breather. I'll be back. All right, this is Art and Culture Monday, and you are watching me, Richard Okenye, standing in the place of Karen Blessing. It's been an exciting show to be here on the 45th Monday of the year. You have 7 more as well to go. For the people who've been tuning into the show, I am very glad that you're creating time for us this morning. Wangeshi, she said she's watching me from Ruiru, and for the first time on a different show. That's not Biashara Tuesday. I'd love to know how I did, but thank you, Wangeshi, for tuning in here. Also, I see Amisi Derek at 224 in the house. Also, shout out to the guests we just had there. Glow Mamu, locked in and enjoying the show all the way from Juja. On Twitter, Mutua Brian anasema ametumiss. Asante sana kwa kutune into the show. Mkuu Siox, that is Musioka Joseph, watching all the way from Juja, J-Town. Asante sana Siox for watching. Na Mutua Brian nita enthusiastic young man. Very enthusiastic, bro. Always am. Ojong Mariam anatuona from Runda na anasema big up to Okenye on Art and Culture Monday. Teo K, friend of mine from all the way in Kino, watching the show as well. Jaco Juang Donaldo, asante sana. Our resident Turkey citizen who's watching the show again and waiting on for tomorrow. This has been exciting for me, and I'm hoping it has been exciting for you as well. Happy holy days. Continue planting trees, and you have to do it today. Just do one thing. Plant a small tree. Hata kama ni seed ya tomato ama kitungu. Just do something for the environment and for yourself as well, because you're going to enjoy the benefits of a good climate in the next coming years. This is an effort by the government to eradicate the effects of climate change. We'll be having more of that kind of a conversation tomorrow. Remember, on Tuesday mornings, you get me there on Biashara Tuesday, where we get to dive down into the business of the economy and also to look at international politics and also other issues which are affecting how you are raising or how you're coming up with your income. On social media platforms, you'll find me at KUTV Kenya, at Richard_Okenye. The hashtag to use right there is the hashtag Art and Culture Monday. But tomorrow the hashtag to use is the hashtag Biashara Tuesday. From the whole team here on Rise Today, from my producer and director Ran Ngure to the transmission desk, we have Frank Maina and the whole team. It's a big crew that I cannot exhaust. We are very grateful that you're creating here your time. Remember, Art and Culture, the only place where a dramatic pause is not just accepted, but encouraged. I'll see you.